On OSRC News at 7, newly inducted teachers prepare Ondo State future through quality education. Ondo State government sensitizes council officials on ethical financial practices. Kidnappers killed 35 hostages in Zamfara over refusal to pay ransom. And from the foreign scene, Trump sets 12-day deadline for Russian president to act on Ukraine peace deal. Good evening and welcome on the news at 7. I am Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi. Newly recruited public school teachers in Ondo State have been charged to be committed, professional and impactful in the discharge of their duties. At a 2-day induction and capacity building program in Akure, the state capital, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa said it became imperative to equip the new teachers for the task ahead. OSRC's Bidemi Akinrotoye reports.
Newly recruited primary and secondary school teachers in Ondo State gathered in Akure for a 2-day training program aimed at building capacity and laying a solid foundation for their journey in the teaching profession. The program, which featured seasoned education experts and stakeholders, officially inducted over 1,100 teachers into the state public school system, a critical step towards addressing the long-term shortage of the teachers in schools across the state. Addressing the participants, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who was represented by his deputy Olaide Adelami, emphasized his administration's unwavering commitment to quality education. He charged the new teachers to see their roles as a nation-building assignment that requires integrity, passion, and dedication.
Our administration will continue to renovate and also construct new buildings where necessary and make our schools more conducive for teaching and learning activities. I charge you all to take the exercise seriously. It is enough to secure employment. You are to deploy your full attention and skill.
Also speaking, Chairman of the Ondo State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Victor Olabinton, outlined the vision behind the recruitment initiative, stressing the importance of a competent and motivated teaching workforce in shaping the future of the state.
Those recruited in TESCOM in 2009, they are almost nearing retirement now. And by the time they leave, that sector might be very, very difficult to manage. And that is why I have always advocated every year recruitment, sir. Every year.
Other stakeholders at the event described quality education a pillar of sustainable development and urged the teachers to live up to the expectations of their profession and the communities they serve.
Marks a significant milestone in our ongoing efforts to reposition the education sector, especially at the foundational level, which remains the most critical stage of learning.
Effective education is anchored on 3 planks, namely the students and the curriculum, the infrastructure, and the personnel who are the major drivers.
You are the missing link. Those who will give life to this investment, shape young minds, and lay the foundation for a brighter Ondo State.
Some of the newly inducted teachers expressed appreciation for the opportunity, promising to give their best and contribute meaningfully to the advancement of education in the state.
The journey has not been easy. I graduated like over 20 years, so just got a job in that. It's something that I need to keep going.
We have already promised that we will work with other teachers to take Ondo State to the next level in education.
The Ondo State government drive to strengthen the education sector through recruitment, training and professional development not only enhances learning outcomes but also reflects a broader commitment to youth empowerment and human capital development. With the right training and support, the newly recruited teachers are expected to play a transformative role in public schools across the state, a role that will ultimately shape the next generations of Ondo State. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
And the federal government has launched a loan fund to support staff of tertiary institutions. The fund, known as the Tertiary Institution Staff Support Fund, is designed to enhance the welfare and professional development of academic and non-academic staff in universities, polytechnics and colleges of education. Each academic and non-academic staff member will be eligible to receive up to 10 million naira, capped at 33.3% of their gross annual salary. Minister of Education Tunji Alausa said the fund is part of the administration's broader efforts to reposition tertiary education in the country. According to Dr. Alausa, the program will be implemented in partnership with the Bank of Industry, which will manage the disbursement process to ensure transparency, accountability and effective delivery. The Ondo State government has reiterated its administration's drive towards strengthening governance at the grassroots level through enhancing administrative capacity and accountability for quality service delivery. Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa spoke at a 4-day sensitization workshop organized for local government political office holders and top management staff on economic and financial administration of local councils. Joy Pius reports that the workshop was organized to enhance transparency, efficiency and effectiveness in local government operations.
Collaborating the Local Government Service Commission, Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, as well as the Ondo State Public Complaints, Financial Crimes and Anti-Corruption Commission, Ondo State Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs organized a 4-day sensitization workshop for political office holders and top management staff of the local government on economic and financial administration of local councils. The workshop is aimed at promoting ethical financial practices, contributing to the reduction of corruption and financial irregularities in local government administration. In his welcome address, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Amidu Takuro, harped on the importance of the workshop, which aims to enhance the capability of administrative officers with skills required to strengthen critical areas of the local government regarding financial management.
This workshop is designed to enhance capacity by equipping participants with contemporary knowledge and skill required for efficient and effective local government administration, promote synergy and foster a stronger working relationship and understanding between political office holder and career civil servants to ensure a cohesion approach to governance.
Declaring the workshop open, Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa reiterated his administration's commitment to providing necessary guidance and creating an enabling environment for the local government to thrive. Governor Aiyedatiwa described the top management officers, the engine room of administration at the local government level, adding that their commitment, professionalism, and adherence to due processes are essential for effective governance.
I urge you to see yourselves as partners in progress and not mere bureaucrats. The success of any government policy at the grassroots depends heavily on your capacity, competence, and integrity. Our administration is determined to entrench a culture of accountability, efficiency, people focus, and result-oriented governance in all tiers of government. To this end, we shall continue to support initiatives that promote transparency, fiscal discipline, and effective monitoring and evaluation at the local government level.
Other stakeholders commended the collaborative efforts of Ondo State government towards ensuring integrity and transparency.
This collaboration is very key and must be sustained. We will not succeed in this struggle if we don't keep this conversation. And it is our hope that the relationship and its synergy between the state and the commission will continue to work stronger for the overall good of our nation.
I recognize that in this particular program, there is a synergy and a commitment of all relevant government agencies within our own terrain to work together and this could help us push governance to a new level.
This is a preventive workshop to let us know the do's and the don'ts and how to rightly apply the extant rules as enshrined in our regulatory books.
It is a very good training because it will give us, those of us who are politicians and the career office, to know how to handle the financial aspect of the local government.
With this workshop, participants believe they will be equipped with the knowledge and skills to implement sound financial management practices within their respective local governments. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
You're watching the news at 7 on Osrc television. We take a break now. When we come back, the news continues. Please don't go away.
Enjoy the delicious blend of cocoa, milk and sugar with the chocolating nourishment of Peak Chocolate Milk Powder. Peak. Reach for your peak.
You're welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The foundation of good governance and sustainable peace lies in strong institutions and robust national security. This was the focal point of the third edition of the Yemi Fash online news platform interactive session, where stakeholders and thought leaders converged to discuss pathway to peace, accountability, and responsible leadership. Modupe Oyewole reports.
The Yemi Fash online news platform interactive session has become a hub for progressive dialogue in Ondo State. Now in its third edition, the event continues to drive home critical issues shaping governance and development in the state and beyond. This year's theme, Strengthening Institutions, Securing Nations, the pillar of good governance and lasting peace in Ondo State, underscores the agency of fortifying public institutions as drivers of stability and sustainable progress. From legislative development to gender inclusion, political participation, and security, Penn List emphasized the need for inclusive and impactful leadership.
Yemi Fash to have taken this point, I think it should be commended. It's a topical issue now, and I think the idea behind this is for people to judge and to bring about ideas through which the security apparatus of Nigeria can be strengthened. So I think we should commend him.
The discussions also examined the role of traditional institutions and the contributions of women in nation building.
The program is a real success.
this is what we expect to be happening amongst our youth. This is youth engagement. The youth must have learned a lot from here.
It's collaborating with society groups to advance the cause of gender inclusiveness in industry. And apart from this, we're also doing it to empower women because we know that when women are economically viable, they tend to naturally participate in social-political processes.
Convener of the season, Oluyemi Fasikpe, noted that the initiative aims to tackle pressing issues through open, solution-oriented dialogue.
Pay attention to white color because registration number PGJ 2768AM. Have this dialogue. People actually do not even know their fast solution. And have a community present to the what the people say. This is what we feel we can do better. This is what we feel probably having doing work. So basically, this year's theme was influenced by the recent happenings.
Keynote speaker Adebisi Daramola highlighted Nigeria's security challenges, asserting that peace and security form the bedrock of development.
A lot of people will be rest assured to do their work, to move around, to generate income, to encourage economic and development. Without security, there's nothing that can happen much, especially to the average citizen. He has to be well secured. He must have that confidence that he can do anything without threat to his life.
Chairman of the Planning Committee, Tomide Akinribudo, said the theme was deliberately chosen to reflect the vital role of institutional strength and national security.
We only talk about progress and development when a community society is secure. That is why we are choosing a topic that is all encompassing and focuses particularly on
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, represented by his deputy Olaide Adelami, commended the platform for shaping public opinion and amplifying the people's voices.
It is a duty of government to promote security. Under the
next week is Magistrate Shekoni.
We've been able to
Magistrate Shekoni is the Chairman Planning Committee of the first edition of the Emifash Online.
Generally acknowledge that Ondo State of Nigeria.
As the 2025 edition of the Emifash Interactive Session wraps up, it continues to build momentum for strategic partnerships that foster a more peaceful and progressive Ondo State.
The federal government says foreign nationals with expired visas in Nigeria have till September 30 to regularize their immigration status. The government, through a statement, said it had declared an amnesty window for foreign nationals currently residing in the country with expired visas in its renewed efforts to strengthen Nigeria's immigration system and promote compliance with the new visa regime. The initiative, known as the Expired Visa Initiative, was jointly announced by the Ministry of Interior and the Nigerian Immigration Service. It notes that all affected individuals should complete the regularization process through the dedicated online portal before the end of the grace period. The amnesty, which took effect from May 1, 2025, will remain open until September the 30th. The National Identity Management Commission (NIMC) has expressed deep concern over a recent statement by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) revealing the illicit sale of personal data, including national identification number (NIN), by some Nigerians. According to EFCC, the fraudulent scheme involves young individuals offering victims between 1,500 naira and 2,000 naira in exchange for their personal information, which is then sold to certain companies for up to 5,000 naira. NIMC described the practice as serious security breach with grave consequences for affected NIN holders. The Commission emphasized that it will not be held liable for any personal information voluntarily disclosed by individuals, either directly or through a proxy, for financial gain or inducement. It reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding the integrity of the national identity database and urged Nigerians to remain vigilant and responsible in handling their personal information. A former Inspector General of Police, Sunday Ehindero, has tasked President Bola Tinubu to reduce military visibility in domestic security matters across the country. Speaking in Akure, the former Inspector General of Police proposed the introduction of the police mobile force to reduce military visibility. He said the federal government should let the mobile police force replace the military in internal security, as canvassed by the Plateau State Governor. Ehindero maintained that the military should concentrate on Nigeria's borders to prevent terrorists from entering the country. The Akwa Ibom State government has approved the recruitment of 3,000 qualified professionals into the East Mainstream Civil Service in what officials described as strategic move to strengthening public service delivery and drive youth empowerment across the state. Governor Umo Eno approved the recruitment exercise, which cut across a wide range of disciplines and cadres including education, healthcare, engineering, law, agriculture, science and administration. The State Commissioner for Science and Digital Economy, Frank Ekpenyong, said the recruitment process will be conducted exclusively through a given portal. He described the initiative as part of the governor's commitment to transparency and job creation through their rights agenda. The Society for Family Health says 9 Nigerians die every hour in the country as a result of malaria. This was also, as it said, 97% of Nigerians suffer from the burden of malaria. The Society's social and behavioral change specialist Deborah Oyima disclosed this during a media orientation on integrated insecticide-treated net and seasonal malaria chemo prevention campaign in Kano. Oyima said during the campaign it planned to distribute 7.7 million treated nets and over 15 million doses of drugs to children between age of 3 to 59 months in order to reduce the burden of malaria. According to her, the distribution of treated nets were to focus on local government areas and wards most vulnerable and with prevalent cases of malaria. She maintained that malaria can be prevented by not allowing mosquitoes to have a bite. Troops of the Nigerian Army, in collaboration with operatives of Department of State Services and hybrid forces, have killed several terrorists during a gun duel in the Shiroro local government area of Niger State. The operation followed a tip-off about plans by the terrorists to unleash mayhem on residents of Iburu village. The DSS said many terrorists were sighted approaching the village on motorcycles to attack the villagers before the intervention of the security forces. A gunfire ensued, with the troops killing at least 45 terrorists. However, 2 members of the hybrid forces paid the supreme price, while 4 others who sustained gunshot wounds have been admitted and receiving treatment at a public hospital in the state capital. And 35 kidnapped victims from Banga village in Kauru, Namoda local government area of Zamfara state have reportedly been killed by bandits over their failure to pay a 35 million naira ransom. The bandits adopted 53 people from the community and demanded 1 million naira per captive. The 53 kidnapped victims had been in captivity for several months, with only 18 of them able to pay their ransom and got released. Special advisor to Zamfara Governor on Security, Daud Alawa, said the government is working round the clock to ensure that the people of the state are given maximum protection against banditry and other criminal activities. And now to foreign news. United States President Donald Trump has set a new deadline of 10 or 12 days for Russia to end its war in Ukraine, underscoring his frustration with Russian President Vladimir Putin for prolonging the conflicts. Speaking in Scotland, where he is holding meetings with European leaders and playing golf, Trump said he was disappointed in Putin and shortened a 50-day deadline he had said this month. The US president has repeatedly voiced anger with Putin for continued attacks on Ukraine despite US efforts to end the war, and has threatened both sanctions on Russia and buyers of its exports unless progress is made. There has been no immediate comment from the Kremlin. 4 years after a striking cargo ship caused the largest plastic spill ever recorded, volunteers of Sri Lanka's beaches are still sifting kilograms of tiny toxic plastic pellets from the sand. Billions of plastic nodules, as they are called, are thought to have washed up after the Express Pier disaster in 2021, along with tons of engine fuel, acid, caustic soda, lead copper, slag, lithium batteries, and epoxy resin, all toxic to aquatic life. The immediate damage was obvious. The nodules inundated the shoreline, turning it white, while dead turtles, dolphins, and fish began washing up. The report is presented by Boluwa Akinroyeche.
The village Sudasan has fished in this sea near Dave Island of Sri Lanka's northern peninsula for decades. But for weeks now, thousands of plastic pellets and other toxic debris have been washing up on the beaches here, making him worry.
What threats and problems will come because of this? Will it affect the little fish stocks that we have?
Material including calcium covered. The plastic noodles, which measure less than 5 millimeters, are a huge concern for environmentalists. More than 350 kilometers from David Island, that concern has brought Mudak Katu Awaya and a team of volunteers to sift out pellets that have washed up on the Mioria beach. He says Sri Lanka's location on a busy shipping route has led to a number of similar disasters threatening the country's marine environment and livelihoods. The station claims he said changes are needed to improve the way Sri Lanka handles such disasters.
We need further strengthening the institution as well as strengthening the law of this country, and the equipment and the technology. Those things should be strengthening more for better enforcement.
The recent incident brings up memories of Sri Lanka's worst maritime disaster. In 2021, when the MV Express Pearl caught fire a kilometer off the Sri Lanka coast. Last week, the Supreme Court ordered the owners of that ship to pay an initial amount of $1 billion for environmental damage and economic loss. Ebonluwa Akinroyeje, Osrc News.
And now sports. President Bola Tinubu has received Nigeria's Super Falcons at the Presidential Villa following their record victory at the 2025 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco on Saturday. The Coastal buses conveying the players and coaching crew arrived at the forecourt of the Osrc in the evening. The Super Falcons, 10-time African champions, after their 3-2 comeback over the Atlas Lioness Morocco, upon their arrival, were received by the president alongside his wife and chief of staff Femi Gbajabiamila. In a post-match video call on Saturday night, President Tinubu praised captain and tournament Rasheedat Ajibade and applauded Nigeria's rally from a 2-0 half-time deficit to claim the WAFCON title. He also announced the award of the Naira equivalent of $100,000 to each of the 24 players and the Naira equivalent of $50,000 to the technical team. And that's it on the news at 7. But before we go, let's take a quick look at some of the major stories. We told you that Ondo State government has charged newly recruited 1,100 teachers to be passionate and dedicated to their teaching job. We told you that Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa has reiterated its commitment to provide necessary guidance and creating an enabling environment for local council to thrive. Bandits have killed 35 adoptees following failure to pay demanded ransom to the kidnappers. And from the foreign scene, we told you that President Donald Trump has set a deadline for 12 days to Russia to end its war in Ukraine. And that's the news at 7. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.